here with Emp from 7am. Going to be chatting with him about how he thinks his chances are this tournament. Emp, how you doing, lad?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm good. So how confident are you feeling, first of all?
We've been playing some good CS online, but it's whether or not that transitions.
Of course,
obviously, we've not been to a UK event as the 5, usually like 2 or 3. Because obviously we got Swedes. But in terms of confidence, top 4, easy. That's the minimum I want at least. Obviously, I want to win. Always want to win.
Of course.
But we'll take it as it goes.
And you've just picked up Husky. How's he settling in, and is his experience helping some of the younger guns in the team?
Well, it's weird because when we bring him in, he wasn't used to playing with such inexperienced players. So we made a point of it to him that he now has to lead by example. He's one of the more experienced players. And he's kind of fallen in his stride. It's a bit weird. He's gone from like the kind of quieter guy to leading by example, being more vocal, and a bit more guidance. So he's suited in, and it's easy with him, me, and Oscar, LVN. It's easy.
Obviously, as for a Summerland, there's actually quite a decent turnout of teams here. Who do you think's your biggest threat?
I don't know. It's on paper. It's all. There's 5 teams that stand out. Next in line, us, Smoothers Mix with Adam Dobbo, those Verdun, and the Arctic Raptors mix. I ain't even gonna attempt to say their name, but obviously MMS, Jack B, Crifes, Round Crifes. But yeah, those guys.
And in terms of this event specifically, have you done any specific prep that you wouldn't already do, or like prepared specifically for certain teams? Obviously, you don't need to give too much away, but.
Not really. We've done a few things, but the main thing is, it seems daft and it sounds like a cop-out already, but it's more bedding the younger guys in for a more landing experience, because the idea for us is we don't just want to sit domestically. Online, it's a different environment. We're getting more comfortable playing high-end competition, especially with some of the invites that we're getting to HLTV at the moment. But LAN is a whole different environment. So it's a bedding in period, and there's pressure, obviously, because we want to perform, but it's not the be-all and end-all. We're not going to come away from EPIC like some teams and just dissolve.
Now, your org have provided you with some really nice-looking gaming chairs. Do you think they're going to have a tangible impact on the way you're playing?
I can't wait for all the complaints. My back hurts. I can't get right, can't get comfy. Because I'm just going to stack up a bunch of the normal chairs ready. Which way, if you can complain, I'm just going to swap them out. You can give me a chair to sit on.
And finally, Vacancy's lack of a haircut. Has that had an impact on mood in the camp, or?
He just won't shut up. Just go get a haircut. Like, be more organised. But this sums up our team, right? Just it's like babysitting duties. I need caring allowance. That's what I need. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Emp.
Welcome.
Hello, and welcome back to EPIC39, sponsored by Intel. We're into the upper quarterfinals today, and we're going to be seeing 7am taking on Next in Line. You saw Emp there, the coach from 7am, giving us his thoughts on the Thursday. This was before the tournament even kicked off.
Yeah.
And he seemed fairly confident.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I do like to see about 7am, it's something which I'll say time and time again, it is really good within the UK scene, is the fact they've got long-term goals. As you mentioned, Emp mentioned there, they're not going to be like just some other team who are just going to disband after a disappointment in Epic Land. Their goals are long-term, and that's been shown. They lost their advanced spot. They then had a couple small roster change, but they kept the team together and regained their advanced spot by working hard together, and that's really the attitude you want to see, especially in the UK scene.
Yeah, 7am, a team that dropped out of advanced a few seasons ago, and then they've worked their way back up through main in the last season, so they'll be back in advanced next season. And they finished with a 9-5 record, went 3-2 in playoffs. But then also Next in Line, another team that are going to be in advance next season, but this time coming from Open. We mentioned it in the previous match. They had a stellar run going. They dropped one map, 13-1, and then through the entire playoffs bracket, just a clean 8-0 in series wins. Didn't have to drop down. It was a stunning run, and I think everyone was backing them, supporting them, and it was really good to see such a new UK team win Open and qualify themselves into advanced. Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, on Next in Line, Dutchy. Yeah, used to play for 7am. So I think it was for 10 months, was it? 10 months he played with them under Phoenix. So this was back when 7am were under Phoenix. So they had the likes of
Husky, LVN, and Emperor that he played with. He did get kicked afterwards. He also played with Mad, who is currently in next in line, but he's not here, unfortunately. He's on holiday, so they've got Wolfie standing in. But the point is, the storyline is there. He wants revenge, and we saw that in the VTs, an interview we saw earlier today.
Yeah, I sat down with Dutchy on day one, and we had a chat about his expectations for the tournament. This is what he had to say. Well,
yeah,
what he had to say.
Yeah, we saw the VT's not ready yet.
Yeah, I'll give you the gist. Was that he wants revenge. He's not happy. Yeah. The one lineup that he wanted to face during this tournament was 7 AM. He told me such, and now we're going to get his thoughts on exactly what is.
I'm here with Dutchy from Next in Line. First of all, congrats on your open run, going from all the way from open to advanced in one season.
Yeah, it was a long run. I think very scrappy games, but we showed the best team in open. So.
And obviously it's a brand new roster. What do you think it was that made this roster click so well?
I'd say it's mainly down to like a mix of the two play styles. The UK play style where we're playing late rounds, we're thinking smart, a lot of comms based stuff, whereas the Finns give us a bit of extra spice. You know, they want to run through smokes, just do the most random crap imaginable and shoot people in the face. So yeah, it gives us an extra dimension to the game.
And for this event, you've got Wolfie subbing in for Mad. Is that a one-for-one replacement? Have you had to change any roles around?
No role replacements. I think Wolfie fits in all Mad's roles. He's going to play with confidence. He's going to shoot people, and that's all we really ask of him, to be honest.
And when it comes to placing at this event, where are your expectations for landing?
Yeah, so HOTV is something that we've not managed to get yet on this team. Just a bit unlucky, to be honest. But so the base goal, HOTV. And then ideally win the event. We all want to win events. We want to be champions.
And looking at the other teams, who do you think is your biggest threat at this event?
7 AM. Straight up, yep. Yeah. I mean, ex-teammates, LVN Husky, ex-coach, Emp. I want to show them why it was a mistake when they kicked me all the way back and then get some revenge.
Nice, I like it.
Thank you very much, Dutchy.
Yeah.
As Dutchy mentioned there, HLTV, that's one of his goals for this event. Next in line, they're yet to have a HLTV game, being a brand new roster. Yeah. But this game, the winner does get top 4, and top 4 of this tournament is shown on HLTV. Quite a prestigious achievement for a lot of players. A lot of players have the goal of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the profile to have. You know, you can have a Liquipedia, you can have Face It ESA, and
it's almost like a verified tick saying, I'm at a high level of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I feel like when you're going through the sort of the amateur stages, you get to HLTV profile, and that's when you would start to feel like you made it. You know, that's a big goal for a lot of players, certainly at this level. But also just to get a roster on there as well is a good reflection on your team.
Oh yeah, and it does wonders for perhaps sponsor deals and sort of brand recognition for the org as well, not just the players. So yeah, it's quite important, and quite frankly, HLTV games get a lot more views.
Yeah.
But speaking of HLTV games, I believe there was some at Fragadelphia. I can't remember if they made it that far. But 7 AM as a team went to Fragadelphia. They went without Husky, because Husky was on Black Hand at the time, and they also went to Fragadelphia. And I believe Black Hand made a slightly deeper run at the time. So a lot of experience. They've had LAN experience from these players. And not only just LAN experience, it's international LAN experience. It's a completely different environment. Whereas Next in Line, as a team, they might not have that LAN experience together. Individually, they almost certainly do. Zulu, he's been around forever. Yeah. I think he came top 3 with me at Lucent, second as well with Black Hand with me in the 2 LANs in a row. So we know he's definitely capable of the performance. And we saw yesterday, we saw them playing versus Royals, and they were firepower left, right, and centre. We've not brought up yet the Finns. The Finns are coming in for Next in Line. They've got 3 UK players and 2 Finns. These Finns bring such a spice of aggression. We saw Otto constantly rushing places with the AWP.
He was wild.
1 minute 30 into the round, he would somehow be in CT spawn with an AWP on his own. Like, you don't see that with an AWP.
No.
With an AWP, you might expect
hardly see it with a rifle.
Yeah, that's the sort of plays you expect to coming out of players like Arts from Furia with a rifle, not with an AWP. It's absurd, and it gives such Next in Line such like a next layer, another layer into their playbook. And Dutchy did mention it in the interview how the Finns, they make it so much easier for them, because even it's another dimension. I'm trying to find the words for it, but yeah, it's another dimension. Even if the more passive, more calculated UK players, even if their style of play is struggling, you've constantly got that X factor of the Finns playing together, getting aggressive, and putting a spanner in the works for their opposing team.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's going to be really key, as with all best of threes, but especially with this one, it's going to be the veto. So we're going to get into that now. Both these teams, of course, Dutchy familiar with LVN, LVN familiar with Dutchy as well. It's going to be interesting to see the maps, and we see them coming through here. We know that LVN loves an Ancient, and he's picked that. Next in line, have picked a Vertigo, which makes sense with given how proficient we saw certainly the Finns being with that aggression, and you can weave some really nice threads through the defaults.
The one thing I'll say is on the Vertigo, they did have a big hole which Royals exploited. So Royals, when they played yesterday in the best of 3 on Vertigo, they were able to find the perfect timing on Vertigo to walk up the ramp when the smokes were disappearing. So hopefully we're going to see the next in line have adapted. They've looked over and figured out and had a talk about what went wrong for them on Vertigo. They did win it in the end, but you could see that there was issues. If they plug those holes, it's going to be a difficult game for 7am.
Yeah, it really is. And I decided nuke.
Yeah.
I mean,
decided nukes, it's always going to be interesting. We've not seen too much nuke in this event, at least we haven't.
No.
So it'll be really interesting to see how these sort of teams approach it. I also want to take it back to Ancient. Ancient, it's a map which LVN, as a player, in his multiple different teams he's played in, has always loved. When we played against him in Coalesce, it was constantly Ancient was always their map pick. It seems to be a home ground for LVN. And we've seen them play it, but we have also seen them in this tournament have a little bit of difficulty with it. I can't remember exactly who they were playing. I think it was second seed in the groups. But I remember sitting behind them, and they were getting a little bit flustered sometimes when they started losing rounds during the second half. And it was Emp, who's the player, who's the coach, came in to calm them down.
Yeah.
And I think that's something which a lot of players and people and pundits seem to underestimate, is the impact that Emp has. This guy, I've played underneath him. He was an interim coach for a little while in Lucent whilst he was helping us out, and the experience and knowledge he has, not just of Counter-Strike, but in a team environment, is incredibly understated. People really underrate how team environments can impact the level of performance and progression a team can do, and he would give structure to things you didn't even know needed structure. And as we saw, sitting behind him, we could see he was calming down these younger players who might get a little bit flustered, and keeping everyone with a cool head, and it kept them in that game.
Yeah, Emp really good with the team dynamic side of things. As you say, sitting behind just that calm voice, and he's able to just say, guys, let's chill. We're getting a bit hectic in the comms, and sometimes it's really difficult, especially when you're in the game. Like even from an in-game leader's point of view, to be able to listen both and monitor the macro and the micro of the game and all of your players, but then also manage the chemistry, the communication at the same time. It's incredibly difficult. So having Emp there to come in.
It's something which a lot of players who've played traditional sports, they will play up coming in as young kids. They'll have a coach who would have a lot of experience, and they'll learn these sort of traditional sports aspects of team play, which a lot of gamers who sit inside, they don't play traditional sports, who don't have that background, you can see they lack it, and it's quite obvious coming into it when you play with players. It's quite easy to tell who has a background in traditional sports and who doesn't. And Emp does. I believe he used to play football at a relatively decent level. I can't remember exactly what level, but it's really obvious, and it's an understated bonus that 7am have, and a crucial part of their team.
Yeah, it's a real transferable set of skills. And I think Emp, one of the. I mean, so much tenure as well, because he used to be an in-game leader himself as well.
Yeah, he used to play for he used to be the coach for CX, quite a renowned roster during the UK as well.
And I believe he started playing in season 19.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. Mine was season 24. So
mine was 28.
He had a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
Under his belt before I even he hit main in season 23, which was again before both of us started playing. So really tenured.
Yeah.
And an experienced guy, and it's the exact kind of person that you'd want, especially working with LVN.
Yes.
Who
LVN as a player, so again, more storylines coming into this. LVN as a player, he's always tried to create his projects, and he's always tried to create ones for the long-term goals. That's something you can only respect coming into any sort of Counter-Strike.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, I want to talk a little bit more about the 7am roster. Is the younger players. They've got Zai and Vacancy, who have slightly less experience. These young firepowers who are being brought up and trusted. So it'll be really good to see how they perform.
Yeah, Zai specifically really impressed us, I think, both during EPS.
EPS, yeah, he had a really good performance in that.
The group stages for that. And really good performance, and also high impact, and wasn't overextending in positions, and showing a lot of sort of wisdom as a player.
Despite
in terms of the way he was playing, despite his youth, which is great to see, because aim can always be built on.
Yeah.
Being able to have that game sense so early in a playing career is an incredible asset, which again will only build with time. We believe the players are all on the server, so we're getting ready now. We're on the brink.
Down the time. We're almost there. The clock's ticking. The game is going to start soon, and I'm excited for it. The storylines again. HLTV on the line. revenge on the line. It's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the way we did the interviews on Thursday, we started with the EMP interview, and I did Dutchy slightly later on, and I almost wish I'd have done it the other way around so I could ask EMP about what Dutchy said and see if I could have got some fighting words back. But I see him.
Oh, EMP would have given some fighting words.
Yeah,
always.
And then we could have had a real bit of drama on the side because EMP, I don't think we'll have even seen that interview by now.
Probably not, but again, coming into these storylines, and next in line, they've got a stand-in. Mad, who, again, also used to play for 7am, he's not playing for next in line. We've got Wolfie standing in, so they're also a team who only formed 1 season ago, whereas 7am, the core of that players have been together for a long time. Again, as we keep mentioning, long-term goals. So they've been together a while, they're a lot more tenured, so it's going to be really difficult to see how these teams compare, which team looks a bit more experienced and which one doesn't. I'd be really surprised if Next in Line look more polished than 7am.
Yeah, the one thing that Next in Line have going for them is that Dutchy did say that Wolfie has been a 1-for-1 drop-in for Mad.
And he's been doing well.
Yeah, and he has been. All of the spots that Mad plays, Wolfie is capable of playing, and he's demonstrated that. He's had some incredible impact.
Yeah, he's not gone top of the score in the games we watch, at least with Royals. He wasn't miles ahead of the scoreboard, but he's constantly at that 20 mark, which is not bad. That's a really nice mark to hit, 20 kills. And considering, again, for a stand-in, he's playing roles which aren't necessarily his own, but he's slotting in perfectly for them, and he's doing a very good job at that. Yeah,
and it's all you can ask for from a stand-in as well. The worst situation when you get stand-in is they're like, I'm not really comfortable playing this role, guys. Like, and then you have to shift around your established four in order to facilitate that.
Especially if they have different playing styles. So I've got my own experience with stand-ins. So when we were playing with Lucent in EPIC39, our Orper, Virez, is Danish. He wasn't able to come over to England to play EPIC Land. So we used Mazza, a really tenured, experienced player, but he was very limited into what style he played. He was much more aggressive than Virez. Virez was much more passive. He played much more of a supportive role in the system of IGLing, which Gizmi had, whereas Mazza struggled to fit in, and you could tell that we struggled to adapt to Mazza's play style, being more aggressive, and he struggled to understand why we couldn't adapt. So having stand-ins can be a really difficult situation, but Wolfie seems to be fitting in perfectly for Next in Line, so it'll be really interesting to see if they're able to continue it.
Yeah, no, he absolutely does. To go back to the veto a little bit, and I mentioned earlier that LVN loves an Ancient, and I just want to prove just how much he loves Ancient. So an ESEA League season, slightly reduced from previous years. It's only 14 best of ones in the regular season. Of those 14 best of ones, for 7am, Ancient was played 10 times.
Yeah.
They won it 7 times, they lost it 3 times, but 10 maps of Ancient.
Their next most played map was Nuke with 3 maps played, which is the third game in this map, third map in this. But similar across on Next in Line, Vertigo was Next in Line's most played map with 6 games played. Nuke also their second most played with 3 wins. Now you're gonna have to balance out the Nuke sort of stats there because those Nuke wins for Next in Line, they're in open, whereas 7am's are in main, so the level of competition is going to be very different. But it looks like we're going to be getting into the game soon. Yeah,
compatible map pools, rivalry on the line, HLTV on the line. It's all going to be kicking off here on Vertigo. 7am starting on the CT side. 3 sets of Kevlar brought up, make that 4. LVN with a single flashbang and 2 sets of dual elites drop. We've seen this a lot, Tim.
Yeah, the dualies, they're coming really into the meta. Everyone seems to pick them up. The 30 bullets means if you get rushed down, you're perfectly fine, but Wolfie immediately with the Glock just takes down Zai towards B, and that leaves the rest of the Next in Line players to react towards
Wolfie just continuing on. The flashbang, it's not going to land, and in fact, 2 kills go back the way of 7am here. Dutchy left reeling going down ladder, but Kappa, this aggression we mentioned from the Finns, he's already all the way up at Generator on the B bomb site, and there we go, contact. Spots a player in heaven, exchanging shots back and forth.
But look how many 7am players are here. There's 3 of them in middle, just holding this window position, holding down any mid lurk, ready to play a retake.
They're on A.
They've taken A. And that bomb plant is the strongest possible plant that you can get on Vertigo on that A site.
Yeah, vacancy, got to be careful. Spots the player in the advanced positioning now and just pushing down with the dual elites. But Otto with 2 on the USP, and he's got a 3rd as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, getting that really early aggro, so he gets the information as to where the CTs are. Now, the downside of that is that they can hear him falling back, but that means they all go to fight him and they all just get mowed down by Otto with that USP.
in that round.
4 kills. Brilliant round from the Finn. And as we see, that the buyback comes in for 7 AM. They've gone for some Deagles and some 5.7s. Forced Bite Silence, leaving a little bit of cash just so he can afford an AWP on the first buy round, which is be interesting to see how he uses that. But in the meantime, next in line, they've got a good bite thanks to winning that. They've got AK, 3 Galils, and a Mac 10. Going for a little bit of a slower round here, a little bit of a what looks like a 3-1-1 default. 7 AM themselves using those pistols, stacking up in the close range of the B bomb site. In the meantime, Otto, he's actually going for entering with the AK. He's got the most powerful gun here, but he's the one going first. Risking it against these pistols.
Yeah,
you do not want to see him going down.
It's dangerous. Playing close to the pistols. The flash is nice. And it allows him to work his way up. He's gaining a lot of space here. Molotov to clear out the sandbags as well as just holding his crosshair ready for a peek out, but there's nobody there. 7 AM playing very passive on the bomb site. LVN spots the gun now. On the swing, he's not ready for it. Otto goes down for free. No trade found, and a nice HE. Wolfie dodges it at the last second, and there's another one. Stacking him up.
Bomb does go down, but we are on a 3 versus 5. The 7 AM players, they played retake A, so now they're setting up. Really unfortunate for next in line to lose a couple of picks here.
Got a kit. And a smoke.
Yeah, this is 7 AM. They're set up nicely for this, especially with that HE doing a lot of chip damage onto the T players falling back.
Flashbang allows him to surge into the bomb site. Kappa got a lot of work on his hands here. The smoke on the bomb and the stick as well. Spamming through. He's aiming at the wrong angle. The stick's going to come all the way through. 7 AM have won it. And they've cleaned them out.
It's one of the reasons why I'm such a what's the opposite of big fan? Such a hater of the default post plan on Vertigo A site. It's so easy for the CTs to ninja defuse it. You can't swing without exposing yourself to angles where the CTs can be holding you before you get to the bomb. So it means it's so difficult. And yeah, we look at the money now. Next in line, they're forced to go down into pistols, and it looks like they're going fast with a single flash towards B, maybe to catch off the players. But Vacancy, he's here with the Mac 10 ready to farm.
Oh, there it is. Lovely stuff. Just a few pistols left here, and there it is.
Easily finished from Zai. The two young guns, Vacancy and Zai, getting a 5K between them.
Yeah, I mean, the Mac 10 was the only thing that went down there, and after it's farmed that much cash.
I just want to go back to that round though. The trading there just wasn't there for next in line. They on that second round.
Yeah.
They lose 2 picks early, and 7 AM are set perfectly for that retake. It's just so unfortunate. Next in line need to make sure they're getting his trade potential, especially with how aggressive we know the Finns can be. Because 7 AM, they're not going to let this happen. And in the meantime, Vacancy, there we go. He gets an opening pick onto Kappa.
Yeah. Kappa going down early, and again, no trade. Next in line immediately on the back foot, and utility's not great. They've only got 2 smokes. Otto going for a nice little dunk nade, but nobody there.
The CTs have got so much map control here. With this man advantage, it affords them to be able to play a little bit more passive. And on top of that, they've got so much information on, maybe not the deep ramp, but they've got the top of ramp on A, which means they're able to cheat another player over to B and play 2-1-2. Just going to give them a really strong defense. The A players are able to get super early information, so the mid player can then rotate back in.
So still,
It's a really difficult situation for next in line.
yeah, it is, and they're playing it slow. They're trying to sniff out any 7 AM players, and that is Zai just
Such
up
a
over that
strong
smoke.
angle.
Yeah, it's really nice. Otto had no idea where he was getting shot from.
Counter one-way smoke. So there's a little one-way smoke, a little lurk smoke that they put on the ramp, and Zai puts his own up, and it allows him to see over the top and take the fight out.
It's going to burn.
Vacancy on low HP goes down, and they've got the sight. Are they going to be aware that Zai's still here?
They are. Wolfie, lovely 2 kills, and suddenly the odds turn. Just 2 players left now for 7 AM against the 3 next in line. Not a lot of util for either team. It's going to come down mostly to fights here. Husky, that's the last bit of util for them. HE grenade goes down. They have got 2 kits, so they opt to buy their time a little bit, but I think that looks like they're taking the save.
Yeah, this is something which, again, 7 AM, I'll praise them for. They're really good at knowing when to save. Their money management is perfect. I remember I've played a couple games on Inferno against LVN teams, and it was literally every single round. Even if they lost, they saved 2 rifles constantly, 2 or 3. They were saving literally every round. It's something which 7 AM are really good at, and it's going to be difficult for next in line to play against, considering 7 AM will almost always have rifles in their hands, even if their money's in the trash.
Yeah, I mean we've criticised teams for doing the exact opposite. It's nice to see 7 AM being really diligent with their money control, because the CT side is so difficult, and it's so easy to let your money just run away and drain. You have to be really, really careful and really, really tight wallet in order to
If Next in Line can keep doing what they just did, and isolating those fights on that B site, taking those trades, then they're in for a good opportunity to take down 7am. And here's the AWP coming out for Silence.
Yeah, and we saw Next in Line in their previous Vertigo game against Royals. Otto's put a pin in that. LVN's charging down, traded by Otto. The aforementioned AWP just on the rifle for this round. Molotov going down. But, you know, the AWP of Otto going up against TBS in the Royals game, and it was really a battle of those two for the majority of the game, it felt like, on Vertigo. So it'll be interesting to see how Silence deals with the threat.
Another Swedish AWP as well.
It is.
See a little bit of a lull in the action now. It's a 1-for-1 trade, a 4 versus 4. 7am do have a slight lean towards this A site. But Otto, he's found a gap. He's going to work his way up towards A. I think what they're going to do is he's going to make contact first, and then the rest of the players will walk up to the B site as soon as he causes a rotation. In the meantime, I think they've boosted someone up. And there you go. Dutchy gets that opening pick onto B, and this is going to allow Otto to strike and catch off the rotations. There he is. He takes down Husky, and that's the A site free. They've got 45 seconds. They do have time to fall back, but it looks like they are committing to the site where the two CT players are.
There it is. Zulu with the kill onto Zai. Leaves Silence left to try and recover this AWP and take it into the next round because they're going to need it. 4 players left on Next in Line. Their money's not great, so they shouldn't commit too hard to hunting, which will give Silence a bit of an easier time of saving it, but it's
this AWP.
Yeah, I mean, Next in Line just dismantling the defense completely.
Yeah, this AWP would be really big for 7am to save. Again, a really expensive weapon, and I think saving an AWP is so much more impactful than saving a single rifle when it comes to your next round if you're ecoing, because that AWP, it enables you to go for these opening picks, get a gun down quickly with just one click. That gun could be picked up by a teammate and then snowball that round.
Yeah, in terms of
turns it into an avalanche.
In terms of limiting trade potential, the AWP so much better at it than a rifle because, as you say, it only requires one shot. It's gone down.
It's gone down.
Really nice from Next in Line to be able to get that,
especially at no cost.
Yeah.
So that puts 7am's money down into the brink.
Silence can still afford an AWP. He's not going to go for it this round, obviously.
Yeah, he shouldn't do.
But that means it will.
They'll have one next round. Thanks to having a little bit of reserved cash.
And Next in Line sticking with the rifle, staying dynamic. No AWP for them. They didn't lose a player, so they'd have had to have done it at the cost of an AK. But Zulu could drop one.
Yeah.
This is a nice boost. Wolfie's going to have no idea, and there it is, LVN, clean as you like. Wolfie taken down. A curveball thrown in from 7am, yet again on a force buy.
But that's also information. They know that there's multiple players there for them to have to do that boost. And they collapse coming in onto the ramp. And they get swarmed. The Next in Line player is not ready for this immediate reaction.
Kappa needs to be careful. Caught by LVN in transition as well. LVN swings, but it's into the jaws of Zulu, who's come to back up his teammate. Slight overextension perhaps because there's no trade. Still a man advantage. Husky now creeping around the smoke. And Kappa.
I think he spots the legs. It doesn't matter. Zulu not ready for Husky's reaggression. And he didn't spot the legs. Kappa does get one, but is he going to be ready for the second? No, he's not. Zai takes him down. That's 7am. They won with just pistols. We see what we mentioned. It wasn't even the AWP. It was a deagle. That's perfectly played. They maximised their odds by going for this 3-man boost. Invest those 2 USPs in sending up their teammate in LVN. Guess the opening pick. And from there, Next in Line, they just crumble. They've lost another player to hold down ramp. And then they get caught off guard just by USP shifting at the top of the mini ramp.
Yeah.
And look what it's done to the money for Next in Line.
Oh, it's ruined it.
Zulu buying up. I think he looked at his own money and saw he had enough to buy. So he's bought up. Thankfully, he's got cash left over. So that means
Otto's bought the AWP out as well. So we're going to see that AWP duel. It looks like Next in Line going to invest.
Down as well. Yeah, it looks like a force. Yeah, full force coming in. I think Zulu might have dropped something over, whether it is the Galil to Kappa or the Mac 10 to Wolfie.
And it's not the worst force. There's a really nice amount of utility. It's
Yeah.
only Otto that's light.
This is good.
The issue will be the Mac 10. You need to be able to activate that and get it into those close angles where it really shines.
But with how slow they seem to be playing, especially these early rounds, it means it's going to be difficult for them to get these close-range fights, unless Husky wants to give it to them. He is all the way down at the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah, 7am are loving these really aggressive pushes through scaffolding at the minute, and getting that deep ramp control gives them really so much map control, and makes Next in Line have to expend a lot of utility.
There's the AWP, ringing out.
Yeah, Otto B.
So the Mac 10 isn't
flash
even a
perfect.
problem.
Dutchy, free kill on Husky as well. Husky full 5-second flash. He's fully white. There's nothing he could do. so 2-man disadvantage for 7am.
Let's see what next in line can do, whether they keep this man advantage as well. I want to see them trade.
Zai's managed to get such a deep position here.
There we
Wolfie
go.
trades.
He's able to swing and get no trades, and silence with the collateral.
That's
Down
two
to a
through
1
the
versus
smoke.
1.
Dutchy, the in-game leader, left, and Silence is going to get it.
Again, the trades, they're just not there for next in line. They're in a 5 versus 3, they get the site, they execute, but there's no one swinging Ivy, swinging onto site. So Zai's able to get 1 for free. Vacancy also gets another for free, and at that point, they've chipped down enough for Silence just to get a collateral with the orb.
Oh, it's heartbreaking for next in line. Up until they got onto the bomb site, they'd done everything right. They'd flashed in, they'd taken the angles perfectly.
Again, we're seeing that the sort of like the composure and the polish, it's just not there for next in line quite yet. Especially with the stand-in, it's going to be really difficult. Mad, he's a very experienced player, and he is missing from this lineup. He's played with the likes of Viperio and 7am, the rosters themselves. So no doubt he brings a lot. And it's going to be really difficult for that's one thing we mentioned, is Wolfie, yes, he's performing, but does he bring enough to the team, not just to the server, that Mad brought as well?
Pause has expired. We'll be kicking things off yet again here on round 8. And I think, eco for next in line.
We'll see what they can do with the Deagles, whether they can repeat what 7am did. Because if they do, they will break 7am's economy, as they all have forced bought into this.
Otto playing with fire. He's got a Molotov in his hands. Setting things up for the Molotov through the ceiling by the looks of things. Silence opens things first. Zai holding
Brilliant
behind
reaction.
Kevin. Yeah, and Vacancy's coming to contain this threat as well. LVN swings around with the MP9. Only gets 1 before being taken down, but the rest of it should be easy as you like. Otto just left with a Deagle against 4. If he can get a headshot, maybe 2, there's a good amount of economy damage, because 7am's economy is not great. They're all sitting below 1,000 bar Zai.
Yeah, not able to do much damage. Again, I want to repeat that reaction was really good from Zai. He sees that the flash comes in, and hears all those steps. So rather than hunting for those kills, which a lot of players would, thinking, oh yeah, 3 kills there on the ecos, I want to pad my stats. He knows that in that window position, it's so easy to get swarmed, because you can get double peeked so easily from the elevated angles.
Yeah.
So he just pops a molly down. He can't get rushed down. He allows him to play safe, and he groups up with his teammate and gets a double kill consequently.
Yeah.
We see the AWP coming out still for Silence here against these 5 AKs. And it looks like we're going to see a boost. Testing Vacancy, one of the star players for 7am.
He swung that, and I don't think he spotted it. It still looks like they're stacked up on each other's heads over there, just waiting for a kill.
And the thing is, 7am, they're committed 3 players quite heavily towards A right now.
Oh, they fell. That is unfortunate. So they're going for another boost. Change it up, different location. Otto up behind wood, flashbang. Vacancy decides not to peek on it.
And they're going to hear these steps. By him deciding not to peek, that means this position is going to be so strong. If he's not mollied out, they will definitely be able to catch them off guard.
Bit of spam onto Zai on default. The Molotov from Husky just to prevent anyone getting into heaven, because he's going to have to reposition. Moving around from the elevators into CT spawn. Still a 5-on-5 here. There's been lots of map control taken and lost, but ultimately in the ebb and flow, no kills found. 40 seconds left on the clock. No utility left for next in line. And Vacancy strikes from quad. There gets 2. That might be all he needs. Wolfie able to trade. Zai next up on the generator. In a bit of hot water here, especially now that he's been team flashed. And that's a big mistake, because Zulu able to capitalize. Husky going down.
He should have spotted the shadow of Zai behind that shadow. He's got the 1-on-1 fight, but Zai does win it out. That is a huge kill to take. And LVN as well, finishing off the lurkers. Yeah, it was a really nice sight hit from next in line. But again, we mentioned at the start, Vacancy hidden there that entire time. He didn't reveal his position, and that led to a full sense of security. And even then, mentioned again at the start of the round, 7am invested so much into taking that ramp that they knew it was clear, so they're able to lean. They had 3 players towards B. 2 players towards site itself, and one of them holding mid from B itself. So yeah, a really difficult situation with next in line. They were up against a lot, and they're up against even more this time, as they're only armed with pistols. Vacancy already getting that opening.
And Wolfie taking a lot of HE damage as well. There's no Kevlar either, so it is just a pure damage round. Next in line just giving themselves a little bit of extra tooling in order to deal economic damage.
Yeah, when we saw next in line on Vertigo previously against Royals, there we go, LVM with a nice double kill, clean it up. When we saw them on Vertigo previously, it was the two Finns for next in line, Kappa and Otto, constantly pressuring towards B and getting picks from Swaggy, and Swaggy wasn't able to deal with it, and that's how a lot of their openings came. But as we can see, Vacancy, he seems to be, well, he's up to 11 and 6. We can see how strong he's doing, getting multi-kills.
Team game leader as well, though. LVN. He's up on 11, just tied up with Vacancy. And one thing I've noticed from this event, from the couple of games I've been standing behind, is that LVN's been fragging out as well.
He has.
He's been having some really high-impact, high-kill games. Which
Not expected.
From an in-game leader, yeah.
From LVN. His experience of the years, he's not typically known as a high fragger. Often playing as an IGL quite selflessly.
Oh, the positioning from Vacancy. Wolfie capitalises. What a stunning 90-degree flick. Just
Wolfie's aim is impeccable. It's one of these most talked about traits is Wolfie's unbelievably fast aim, and as we saw that,
oh,
no chance of the up through the rails. Takes down Zion. That's 2 picks. Next in line don't have a better chance than this to secure a round.
7am have enough money to rebuy next round, but they're backing away onto the A bomb site. Again, they sort of realise it's not worth the retake.
Yeah, again, this is what I'm talking about. Even when they've got so much bank, they know that to save. They know it's better for their economy. That's why they have so much bank and why they're constantly able to keep themselves into games. It's because even when they've got so much money, they still go for the save when at the right times when they know the odds aren't in their favour.
Otto holding the retreat.
Yeah, next in line, their money isn't great, so any weapon they lose is something they're going to have to reinvest next round.
Yeah, they need to keep these guns up.
Yeah, so hunting isn't likely at all.
And they are just securing their exit pathway, which, unfortunately, is exactly in the same direction as 7am, but they can't hunt either. And so...
Yeah, no one goes down there. The weapons are all saved. Next in line, keeping 5 players, 5 rifles, including that AWP on Otto.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Double AWP.
An adaption. Zai picking it up.
Yeah.
It looks like he's playing it towards middle here. Zulu.
Zulu's so
beats
fast.
the Molotov. Yeah, straight up into heaven, and there it is. Zai, but immediately taken out of the round. A 1-for-1 trade. That's a big kill from Dutchy. And an important one as well. Flashes. And a smoke to give mid control for next in line. Vacancy flashed off, and he's forced to retreat as well. The utility usage is really nice from next in line in these early round stages. LVN flashed down into ramp. Up spotted. He's not going to want to swing into that. But Otto, tagged down by Silence, the second AWP. It does a leg. And Otto forced to retreat as well.
But yeah, Vacancy, he's been proactive. He's helped clear out mid. He had the choice. Does he stay B or does he help clear out mid? He helps clear out mid, and that allows him to just focus onto this B side. He's got Husky to group up with him now, and the flashes come in. The smoke is sublime. Takes down Wolfie. He does get traded with like Kappa through the smoke, but are they going to be ready for Husky? He's already rotated. Seems like he is locked out the site though.
HE Grenade's going to do some damage to Dutchy. A lot of damage, in fact. 48 points of health. Otto really low as well in the back of the bomb site, and now taken out of the equation completely by LVN. Dutchy hiding in quad. He's going to go down without a repeat as well. These players, they've split up on this post plant, and they're untradeable, which leaves Kappa in a 1 versus 3. Deals a lot of damage to LVN. He's working his way around white now. Husky on the bomb. Time ticking. Kappa still not swinging through. Just going for the spam. He hits one, but it's not the diffuser.
Brilliant retake from 7am there. Husky, he played it safe. They're in the 3 versus 3. He doesn't want to give his life, because if he goes down, that's the back of the site as well, which next in line could take control, or at least 7am would lose control of. So by playing his life, does a bit of chip damage to that HE, they're able to secure that retake. And yeah, next in line, they just didn't look ready for it. Otto overextending, Dutchy alone towards quad. And yeah, the 1 versus 3, no chance of that happening.
Yeah, just, they're so spread out.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's this level of experience that next in line have as a team together. They don't have, might not necessarily have as many protocols, as many good reactions, regardless of whether they have a stand-in or not.
Pause comes to a close, and very soon so will the end of this first half. Otto B with the AWP, taking it up against Silence, the double AWP Not pulled out again for 7am, and it's a very fast change of pace here towards B. Zulu leading the charge.
Fully blind though, it does stop him in his tracks on the trade. Vacancy's locked out of sight, so there's no contact going down, and he gets spammed through the smoke. That's a huge kill. Vacancy, the site anchor goes down, and the bomb, it's already planted, and we're in a 5 versus 4.
Zai straight in through the smoke though, able to trade 1-4. In fact, he takes Zulu out as well, so
Huge kills.
still on the back foot though is the problem, because a kill from Wolfie comes in, and Husky and Silence.
Does it look like they're going to be ready for Husky?
Husky, Otto is on the other side of this
Just
smoke.
staring through it. But yeah, the clock is ticking down. Husky and Silence. The money isn't amazing. Vacancy and Zai won't be able to buy next round. So if they save these rifles, they will be able to drop it over, and 7am will be able to get a good buy and prevent next in line from stringing multiple rounds together and keeping them in this half.
Yeah, next in line. Not hunting too aggressively here, although I say that actually. Kappa storming through the connector. So a little bit hunted, but crucially the rifles stay alive for 7am, which, as you rightly highlighted, allows them to reinvest into this one.
Yeah,
and
those two rifles mean they've got a 4 buy. Now everyone's money is broken. Not broken, it's on the back foot. For 7am at least.
Early smoke towards B main. Silence. Playing over the scaffolding, just trying to find a gap in this smoke that is well placed. So there's nothing for him to exploit there. Just a bit of a stalemate on the ramp, waiting for these smokes to expire, but crucially buying time.
Yeah, next in line falling back to this bit more of a passive default. They're just waiting for the util to go down on this ramp. And yeah, as we can see now, they're fading it in. Wolfie in, but LVN spots him out, and Wolfie gets taken down low. LVN somehow manages to stay alive. And in the meantime, they're also pressuring the Finns. They don't stop.
Spotted. The arm, he's so low. Kappa unable to finish the kill, and that allows the reposition. Vacancy staying alive and slightly re-aggressing around the smoke as well, going for a bit of a spam. It's dangerous territory when you're this low on HP.
The thing is, though, they're able to cheat a player over. That's the difference between the Royals game and the 7am game. For next in line, they're having to face 2 players on that B site constantly, and it's shutting them down, making it so much more difficult.
Spots the head of Dutchy, swings out. Look at Zulu. That's such a clean shot, and very crucial as well.
HE could have taken down Dutchy, but it's not close enough. Husky now got it all to do, stuck on the site, and
the spam is just slightly too high. Dutchy spamming back.
That's such a crucial error as well. So they smoked
kills.
off the right
They're
side.
all going away 7am. Suddenly there's only 2 players left. And they're split as well. Kappa coming in here through elevator. Vacancy ready for it. But the timing is almost perfect. Vacancy double checks. And now Otto, left in a 1 versus 4, makes it 3. Husky straight on the bomber, no scope, not going to land, and they're just running him down. Still manages to take Silence with a no scope, but even still, 2 players survive for 7am and crucially the round.
I like the idea from next in line. They only smoke off right side, and that allows them to plant in this deep spot so that CTs shouldn't be able to spam them down. But they didn't actually have anyone pressuring Ivy, meaning Husky was free to walk in there, and the post plan, it just wasn't complete. They didn't have the sight. And the kills then just come flooding in as Silence with that AWP gets a double. And yeah, next in line just looks rusty, if anything.
Yeah.
Despite being a new team.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing so well to get themselves onto these bomb sites. And they're doing so well, it's all falling apart in the post. The post plants don't seem to be quite there for them.
Yeah.
And they're losing players in positions that aren't tradable.
Yeah, again, this is the first game of the day for them, so maybe they're just waking up a little bit. Maybe they had a late night last night, who knows? But still, they're warming up into it. For a lot of gamers, this is quite early in the morning for them.
Yeah, what would it be? Yeah, 1:30 in the PM.
1:30 in the afternoon.
That's early morning gamer hours, I agree. Otto taking the angle onto the crane. Husky just jiggle peeking, manages to bait out the shot. That's really precise movement as well, just exposing a pixel. But it's enough to bait the shot.
Yeah, again, next in line, starting off slow towards A, but they are grouped up. Again, the Finns go for this opening pick. They go towards it towards... Actually, no, it's Otto who's got the opening pick here towards...
Yeah, Silence the
towards ramp. But as I'm saying, the other players, they're grouping up towards mid, working mid control instead of B. They've not had much success. At 7am, they are doubling down on B heavily. Instead, they try and mix up, go towards middle. But look at 7am, they read this so well. Vacancy and Zai play so well together. They just completely ignore B and group up towards mid and deny that. But at the same time, Wolfie, he gets that pick, and we're now in a 5 versus 3. They got 2 picks onto this A site, and 7am, they have read it, and they are stacked. We'll see if next in line can hold their man advantage high.
Yeah, next in line need to fix these issues with trading. The spam through the smoke again missed. Vacancy able to get the first kill, bringing things with just a one-player deficit now. Not a lot of util. It's going to come down to good trading and playing together. And Zulu, that's a brilliant lineup. Playing the off angle on the bomb site is traded, but still Husky in a 1 versus 3. Time ticking low. Half the bomb timer already gone. Husky does have a kit, but that last flash was the only util he had. And look, next in line set up so well. Tapping on the bomb, the double peek comes in. Wolfie with a headshot.
Yeah, I want to pay attention to those last 2 rounds. They tried the same execute. So it's just you only smoke the right side. And the CTs, they physically can't spam that position unless they expose themselves to Ivy. That's why you don't smoke left side, so that the Ivy player can see it. But their previous round, they didn't have anyone Ivy, so they were free to get the spam. Husky, fortunately, didn't get it. But this round, Wolfie was their Ivy to protect them, so they weren't able to spam down the bomb, and they've got a much more stronger post plan, despite having, again, the man advantage. Obviously, helping them out there. We come into the pistol round, though. We see 2 smokes, a flash and a molly coming in for 7am as they group up towards A. Seeming like they're going relatively quiet, and next in line they've cleared out middle, so they might have a fast flank here.
Next in line though, 5 sets of Kevlar. They don't have a kit, which means should 7am get the bomb down here,
Retake's going to be difficult.
Retake's difficult, especially if they opt to play passive and let them get onto the bomb site and they cut them off with this smoke.
They've thrown the molly out, which exposes the fact that they're on this side. They've thrown just the left side smoke, allowing to work up Ivy and plant on default.
Oh, Otto getting aggressive. Prevents a plant.
That's time. That is crucial time. 1-for-1 trade, but also delays that plant, giving you much more time to set up for the retake. And Dutchy. Oh, actually, no, it's Zulu with the headshot. Yeah, 7am. They seem to be struggling now. They just get swarmed on the site. Now Salone just silenced in the 1 versus 3. They don't even get the bomb down.
Next in line being so aggressive to make sure that the bomb doesn't get planted. Really controlled aggression as well. Zulu with yet another kill.
It's that aggression from Otto there. Because he's managed to stop the bomb going down, that means next in line, those rotations come in and they're able to just swarm the site and pick off 7am before they even get able to get the bomb down. Because again, whoever's got who planting the bomb, they're not able to have their gun out, which means that's 1 less player to be able to hold any push, any retake from next in line. So brilliant play from Otto, keeps him in the round. We see that aggressive X factor, and we see it coming in again here, just rushing into middle, plays out ladder, and there we go, gets an opening pick, and he's going to find some more, and lots of information to boot.
Yeah, he's really kicked the hornet's nest here in Elevator. There's 3 players at the bottom just firing away with their Glocks, and still Otto dropping his way down. He's looking to farm some cash. And in fact, 7am split up as well, which allows him to isolate these fights. He's got to reload now. He's got to be careful. Zai, there it is, finally trading. Picks up an MP9 as well. But again, no Kevlar. It was what was interesting I wanted to point out was that LVN invested $400 into flashbangs this round, which means he's going to have a weak buy next round. But they obviously had a plan to try and get a bomb plant. And that was completely disrupted by Otto right at the beginning. Zulu traded 1 for 1. Zai able to upgrade to an M4. But Kappa, again, more aggression.
And crucially, that is 3 rifles saved. Should they get this M4? Yeah, they do. Okay, no, 1 MP9. But I can just imagine what Otto was saying in the comms there, his deadpan Finnish voice at the start of the round. I just rush them now.
Yeah.
Literally. We've spoken to these Finns before. They're incredibly deadpan, and they do not care. They will hold W. And as we
they
saw,
are so
Otto,
chill.
Yeah. He just casually rushes into ladder and completely shuts down the 7am fans are doing anything. 9-8 though, we are 1 round apart, and we go into the first buy round of the second half.
And it's a scrappy one.
Yeah, we see a 4-1 setup for 7am. 1 player looking towards ladder, the other 4 working the ramp. Actually, they're playing very passively here. They're not even working it yet. So yeah, waiting for next in line to burn their util. And as we see, this is something we saw in Royals as well. All the util, 1 minute 20 on the clock, and next in line have burnt it all, stopping any rushes.
Yeah, it was a big issue that next in line had on their CT side against Royals. You'd get with a minute left on the clock, and next in line would have no util, and Royals would still have all of theirs. And it seems to be a bit of a repeat performance here because next in line can have a.
We'll see if they're able to adapt though. Yeah, here comes the flash. Otto caught off guard, and there we go. He gets taken down.
Repeak, wishful thinking. And that's the up taken out immediately. And a man disadvantage as well. Vacancy now able to upgrade onto that AWP. LVN swinging, taken down and untraded as well. Wolfie able to escape with his life, back through the smoke. But his teammate comes out.
It's so uncoordinated from Wolfie and Zulu. Wolfie's falling back to the site saying, let's play retake, and then Zulu's pushing through and goes down. Now the aggression comes in as they've got the disadvantage. They get desperate, and now they just fight for 1v1s. It's so uncoordinated from next 9. Again, symptom perhaps of having a stand-in, being a little bit discoordinated. you just wonder what's going on. Wolfie's falling back through the smoke, Zulu's pushing through it. Maybe a lack of communication. But as we mentioned before, it was a massive weakness for Next in Line CT side, was against Royals on Vertigo, was they'd burn all their util straight away, and then Royals would just walk up and catch perfect timing, seeming constantly on Next in Line as the smokes fade.
And another opening, 7 AM, Silence that picked up all. Taking his counterpart off the server, Kappa trading 1-for-1, Husky going down.
B-side, yeah.
Or Husky getting the trade rather, and he's up here in an advanced position, yeah, with the B site.
Locking their rotations out through heaven, meaning they're going to push towards CT, and as we see, 7 AM, they are coming with the bomb, and two little headshots. Nice from Husky, leaving Dutchy alone with this MP9 in the 1 versus 4. We'll see if he can farm some cash, but again, this is a situation where 7M, you know they'd save. 7M will be like, well, we've got to use that MP9 next round. It's going to do much more than in a 1 versus 4 here. But Dutchy, instead, hanging around a bit.
Yeah.
He gets one, which is $600,
but yeah.
He's lost, what, $2,000 in worth of equipment?
$250, yeah.
At least.
And yeah, I mean, there was Husky sitting in the smoke there, yeah. He goes down, but Zai holding the angle. There's no way Dutchy gets that kill without being traded.
Yeah.
Set like the
really good coordination. Yeah,
7 AM looking much more drilled so far, but we're still only 3 rounds apart. But
likely to be 4,
yeah,
considering only USPs next in line. Conservative eco round, as we see Husky. He's playing it safe. I like how he's not overcommitting to these angles.
Yeah.
He's just playing in an angle where he can get one and fall off. Or he does get swarmed by Wolfie coming in from the side.
But
that's the
crucially,
AK picked up as well.
He's bought so much time for his team to act on the information, get up onto the A-bomb site. Just really nice to fire a few shots off, fall back a little bit, fire a few more off, making sure that
he doesn't
storm through.
He doesn't get over complacent going for his kills. He doesn't get greedy. He doesn't like start looking with eyes bigger than his stomach, as it were, thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get all these kills. No, he plays it simple, and that's something which you're gonna see with the experience from Husky. Again, he's played on multiple different rosters. He played on E-Masters, he's played on Black Hand, and that's since he separated from LVN in the previous Phoenix lineup. And one thing to mention, Husky was actually supposed to be part of this lineup when it first formed, but he decided not to when he joined Black Hand, I believe.
Dutchy going for a bit of tap damage with his USB. Bomb will take him out in the end.
Yeah, trying to get maybe a kill, whether it's to pad his stats or to force 7M to invest in the rifle, but at the end of the day, the T-side economy, it's booming. And
yeah,
they're 4 rounds ahead.
Same can't be said for the CTs. Still, no AWP for next in line. They've had to invest with 5 rifles, a saved AK, and 4 M4s.
Let's look at how they use their util here, though, because, again, they've got full util this round, and we'll see how quickly it dissipates. Never mind, though, because Dutchy, he's just swarming, swarming in, just takes down Dutchy. The trade in mid. This is really good team play and fundamentals, quite frankly, just to get these trades, and now they've got the man advantage. Let's see how they use it.
Yeah, Zulu has nothing to hold them off mid with.
Yeah. We're at 125, and most of the smokes have gone. We've only got 2 left. It just seems constant that they just burn through their util on this map.
Otto's used another one.
There it is.
1 smoke left now.
7AM know this, though. They've got the man advantage. They just have to wait for next in line to make the mistakes. And next in line, because of this disadvantage, they feel even more pressure to burn the utility. So as the clock goes down, next in line's util goes down, 7AM keep theirs, and now they've got a 4 versus 5, 5 versus 4, should I say, against players with no utility, so they can just trade.
Yeah, and Husky working up here on the boost. Kappa not ready for it, and he's also got no support. There's nobody watching his back. Otto taken down by Silence. Kappa is able to get one in response. Husky not checking the angles.
They know that 1 player's on B, which means that at most 1 player can be on A. So if they group up and trade, Wolfie shouldn't be able to do much.
Yeah. Wolfie gets almost a 2-man spray down. Yeah, LVN unable to trade. There it is. There's a kill. A bomb dropped as well into a 2 versus 2. Wolfie sticks around for a bit too long, though.
But he's bought time for Kappa to walk in. I get spotted.
Yeah, Zai's got him on the shoulder peak. Smoke will come in.
The double swing.
Double swing's perfect.
Perfect trading from 7AM.
And those fundamentals that we keep on talking about. 7AM playing together, playing these trades, and you saw even on that ramp hit, despite LVN not being able to get the trade, you see the player taking point, stops, waits for LVN to get close, and then they move up together. I don't know how the trade didn't come in. The lineup was perhaps a bit...
Yeah, Wolfie did do his best, isolating those 1v1s. as best he could considering the situation. But again, 7am, their fundamentals, they seem to be much stronger in the trading on their T side compared to Next in Line were. And we see a really scrappy buy coming in for Next in Line. Well, half buy, should I say. On Deagles, 5/7s, and a Scout.
Yeah,
Kappa has invested a little bit too much, though. There's no way he's going to be able to get a perfect buy next round, and we know they need their util because they burn it so quickly. Same with Dutchy as well, actually. There we go, Zulu goes down. His Deagle is silenced.
Yeah, 7am, again, just being really diligent in all these rounds.
And they're just walking up together, playing it nice and methodically, trading. There's 4-1 Counter-Strike. It's what you want to see, especially on Vertigo. It's the A side of the map is where almost all the fights go down. And as you can see, by grouping up and trading, they maximise the possibility of them actually being able to take it.
Kappa able to get one. He's got Kevlar, so he's able to upgrade to an AK.
Oh, look at the damage as well. Look at the HP. Vacancy managed to take down Kappa, though, and that's huge. And Otto getting that kill, that's information.
With this
Husky,
rotation, though.
yeah, Husky was lurking that entire time, so he was closest to rotate, so he's able to just clear this bomb site before Otto's able to get there. And
oh, that's a nice headshot. Husky taken down. Zai the only player on full HP as well. If he can kill Zai, and there's the tag as well. Suddenly the Scout basically upgrades to an up. The HE's massive, goes in, takes Zai out as well into a 1v1. Shot to the AK, but Silence lands it.
What a close round.
Down
Again,
to the wire.
The investment was, there was nothing for Next in Line. 7am played it so well, but as soon as they got like those 3 kills on A, they got complacent. They're like, oh sweet, we've got 3 kills, we're on a 5 versus 2. And then they just swarmed it. The LV on super low HP, everyone else's HP is chipped down, and that Scout becomes deadly. And by giving just a few too many 1v1 fights, not enough trading, that's exactly what happens.
The wild part is, he must have not known that Silence was low, because if he kept the Scout out, he landed the first shot with the AK.
True.
If he landed that shot with the Scout, it's a completely different round.
Yeah, no,
We're
I think
looking
you're
at
right.
13-9. But instead, 49.
On Next in Line's map pick, no less. 7am, they look far more composed, far more polished as a team compared to Next in Line. Can't say I'm too surprised, but it would have been nice to see a much closer scoreline, especially on Next in Line's map pick.
Early flashes keep Kappa away from B, and Dutchy under pressure in middle drops off.
Yeah, again, we see mixing it up a little bit for 7am. Instead of going for that 4-1 on round, they decide, tell you what, let's trade up and go for these opening picks somewhere else. So they do a bit of pressure towards mid, a little bit of conditioning, make sure the Next in Line aren't too comfortable on the other side of the map.
Oh, that's a big opening. Zai
boost.
getting Dutchy.
Yeah, not even a boost actually, it's just a wallbang straight through the box. Dutchy, their in-game leader for Next in Line, not having a great game, he's only on 9 kills.
Yeah, he mentioned he wanted revenge. He's having a tough go at it this game.
Yeah, he's going to have to step it up if they want to secure HLTV straight away. Missed smoke for vacancy, but it doesn't really matter. None of the Next in Line players are close, although they seem to be rotating.
Again.
Yeah, again, it's a minute left. There's 2 flashes left. The utility is just being burned so quickly. Kappa, he's in such a deep position, there's no way he gets a multi-kill here. Doesn't even get one. Husky takes him down, and that is the B site, because Next in Line, again, they gambled so deep, thanks to that information that Kappa had. But Kappa overextending, unfortunately. He's in a position he can't fall back from, so he has to get 4 or he's done.
Yeah, it gives away so much positioning, and Next in Line, as much as 7am on the verge of getting map point here, they need to save these guns. But in order to have any chance in the next round, their money, I mean, look at it, Dutchy on $50, Kappa on $350, Wolfie, Zulu and Otto all below 350.
If they try and go for a retake here, even if they win, their money's not going to be good because they're guaranteed to lose a player or 2, and that's not going to be enough for them to buy next round, and 7am will more than likely close it out, so they have to save.
In contrast, 7am can afford to send
almost everyone.
Silence
is bank.
Yeah, Silence will be bankrolling the entire team. After this round, I think he might be just kissing the edge of 16k.
No, he's straight on it.
He's straight on it, yeah.
Maximum money, so he definitely should be dropping some players over. He should drop to LVN.
Yeah, there it is. So Silence frees up a bit of space in his wallet for some more dollars at the end of this round, provided they don't just win it.
Smart money management, yeah. But Next in Line, they're backs against the walls. 15-8 on their map pick, with Ancient coming up next.
Otto B on the AWP. Kappa again aggressive towards B.
We'll see how they adapt, but 7am actually they're playing a little bit more aggressive towards ramp here. Vacancy, he gets the double kill.
Zulu just trying to pick up the pieces, exchanging shots. Nothing happens. Vacancy tag low, but crucially not out yet. 2-man advantage for 7am here on map point. And Zulu, world on his shoulders on the A-bomb site. He's in such a forward position. Spam as well. HE's just raining down around him. And 7am just waiting. They know that the onus ultimately is going to be on next in line to try and recover the numbers game. Now they finally do push in. The count flash is nice. Allows Zulu to get one, but again, immediately traded. Zulu taken as well with the spam. Capping a 1 versus 4. It looks like 7am will be taking map 1. We'll see what he can do. LVN in such a good position, catches him completely. 16-8.
That was a brilliant call for that last round. So the round before this, they reminded them that, yes, we can get picks towards mid, put a bit of pressure, keep them in check, just so they don't get too comfortable towards A. And in this round, instead, they mix it up. Instead of playing passive towards A, they send Vacancy in, and the star rifler, he gets 2 kills.
Yeah, and a really, really strong performance at 7am, I think
by far they looked much stronger in terms of the fundamentals. The trading, the team play was there.
Yeah, and
it's
what you expect out of a team such as 7am as well, especially if they're saying, you know, they want to compete not just domestically but internationally.
And for the long term.
And exactly, working for the long form. Next in line, of course, still a newer lineup. They have a stand-in. Yeah. Yada yada caveats.
Some teething issues. They want to look at their weaknesses. They did struggle to adapt. Again, we saw the weaknesses they had on Vertigo on Royals. They didn't adapt to it. Burning their util so early on their CT side. A couple of holes in their A defense, and quite frankly, I think 7am they outcalled Dutchy.
Yeah, yeah. Those holes that we saw in the Royals game haven't been plugged.
Yeah.
And that means ultimately, if Dutchy wants revenge, he's going to be on the back foot, and he's going to need 2 maps in a row.
He's going to need to do it on Ancient, which is 7am's map pick, and LVN's home ground.
He loves Ancient. Yeah. Right. We're going to take a break. We're going to sit back and relax in these comfortable, noble chairs. Don't go anywhere.